everyone and welcome to today's video. So you may or may not know that I actually moved to Australia a couple of months ago with my boyfriend, and I recently asked over on my Instagram and I think on a couple of previous videos just for some questions for a Q&A, all things moving and why I've moved here and about university and everything. So I hope that you enjoy, and if you've got any other questions then please do leave me a comment and of course I will answer you. But the first question is, what wildlife have I seen so far? So the short answer is quite a lot, and the long answer is obviously a list of everything that I've seen. So the main thing that I've seen is a lot of kangaroos. There's actually wild kangaroos that live on campus, and especially on like a cooler day or later on in the evening, you'll often see them just sitting around campus, hopping around. There's a few joeys at the moment that have just started coming out of the pouches, which is really sweet to see. I've seen a lot of big spiders, bats, lots of different birds that I really wish I knew what they were, because I've seen some really interesting birds. I've definitely seen rainbow lorikeets, and I think some of them are like honey eaters, but there's definitely like probably about 20 different types of birds that I've seen that I couldn't actually tell you what type of birds they are. What else? Oh, Tim saw a snake. We've seen a few lizards, and I think that's pretty much it. Like a few big lizards and then a few like smaller, I think they're called like Asian house geckos. They're like tiny, some of them are even tinier, but I've seen quite a lot of those. I think that, yeah, is pretty much it in terms of wildlife. The next question is, will I be coming back to the UK after I've finished my course? So again, if you don't know, we've moved here so that I can study my Master of Teaching, and first of all I'm just doing some additional science modules for this semester, and then next semester I actually start my 18-month accelerated Master of Teaching. So I'll actually be teaching secondary school students science and psychology, and to be honest I'm not really sure what our plans are going to be once I finish my course. It feels like such a long time away, really just don't know. I mean, ideally I'd like to get a job out here in obviously being a teacher, but just don't know. I mean, there's no plans to obviously rush back if we don't have to, but yeah, I guess just watch this space. And it kind of goes into the next question, which I realise I've just answered inadvertently, but it's how long is your course? So for the first semester, which is from February to July, I'm doing 4 additional science classes, and then from July obviously 2022 to December 2023, so about 18 months, I'm going to be doing my teaching masters. So the next question is, does it feel like home? And it's really weird because for the first, I'd say maybe even like month that we were here for, it really just felt like we were on holiday. I don't think it had really sunk in that we're now living here. I think because it's something that we'd wanted for such a long time, and obviously because of everything happening over the last couple of years, it was put on hold, and yeah, it just didn't really seem real that we were actually finally out here after lots of planning, lots of work, lots of saving, lots of organising, and lots of very last minute kind of rushing around. But yeah, I definitely think that it does feel like home now. We've got our routines here. Okay, so the next question is, do you get many creepy crawlies? So in the actual apartment, no. There's like mesh on the windows, so you can have the windows open but no bugs can come in. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've seen creepy crawlies. Like I said, I've seen big spiders. There was one that lived outside the window for the longest time. I've seen a few cockroaches actually, and just like general bugs and flies and things that I don't actually know what they are. But in terms of like big creepy crawlies, I've actually seen a lot of caterpillars, which is quite interesting, but I'd say no more than anywhere else that was a bit naturey. Obviously we've got a tropical climate here, and we do live like in a residential area, but at the same time it's not like a big city or anything, so there probably is more like nature and creepy crawlies here than maybe like in the centre of say Brisbane or somewhere like that. But yeah, I wouldn't say I've seen an awful lot of creepy crawlies. So the next question is, what has been the hardest part? And the actual like move here logistically and settling in has actually all been pretty easy. Obviously the hardest part is that we had to leave our friends and family behind, and obviously our cats as well. But I speak to my parents pretty regularly. We FaceTime every week. FaceTime with the cat, and we do the same with Tim's parents as well every week. And of course I like video chat my friends and message them and everything, just trying to keep in touch as much as possible. The only thing that's like difficult obviously is the time difference. So when we first moved out here we were ahead by 10 hours, but now we're ahead by 9 hours because the clocks went forward in the UK, but they don't actually change here because the climate is too tropical and it's just not needed. So yeah, that's probably the hardest part, is obviously just saying goodbye to people and knowing that you're not going to see them for a while, because obviously it's quite a long journey here, and you know, quite a long journey back to the UK, and obviously flights aren't cheap and people have work and lives and everything else going on, and you know, you just can't see each other at the drop of a hat. So yeah, that's definitely been the hardest part of it all. I will say though that I'm really glad that like Tim and I are here together, because I know that a lot of people do move here to study on their own, and I can't imagine how difficult that must be, literally knowing no one and having to kind of integrate yourself into a whole new life, just kind of figuring it all out on your own must be really difficult. So the next question is, if I were to move again, what would I do differently? And to be honest, I don't think I would do anything differently. Everything went really smoothly. The packing of everything was fine. I say packing, the packing and repacking, and like the flights and everything. The only thing was it took us quite a while to find somewhere to live, but by the time we were due to fly out, like that had all been sorted, so that was fine. I think if I were to do anything differently, it would be to have probably come out sooner, but of course everything happened so quickly and we couldn't possibly have given much less notice to our jobs in the UK. I would have liked if we'd been able to have come out maybe like 2 or 3 weeks earlier before uni started, and had like a little bit of a holiday or been to a few different places, that kind of thing. But you know, when time's kind of against you and everything's happening very last minute, we didn't really have much control over that. So the next question is, what has been my favourite thing about Australia so far? And this is probably going to sound really boring and probably really lame, but I've just really been enjoying just being outside like pretty much all of the time. Aside from the rain we've been having the past few days and like the floods we had like a few weeks ago, the weather itself has been pretty decent, certainly as good as a summer's day in the UK, and it's just so nice just like sitting outside and like finding all nice local parks and visiting the beach and going for a swim and just really making the most of just being outside as much as possible. I think especially as well where I like worked from home for 2 years and just didn't really go out, and obviously for a while you couldn't go out, that has been really lovely. Just yeah, the fresh air, the sun, and just all of that. So next question is, when will your family visit? And the short answer is, I have absolutely no idea. I think I talked about it a couple of minutes ago, that obviously flights are expensive, it's a long journey, people have got their own lives, work and commitments and other trips and things. So I honestly don't know when anyone's going to come and visit. Of course I would love for people to come and visit, and equally I don't know when we're going to go back and visit people in the UK. We thought maybe the beginning of next year, but I mean, who knows? So yeah, a bit of a vague flaky answer for that one, but just yeah, I just really don't know. So another good question, and it is, what do I miss most about the UK? So aside from the obvious, you know, my family, my friends, the cats, I don't really know what else I miss. Without sounding like really lame or like materialistic, I guess, I will say that I do quite miss like Primark and little things like knowing my way around the supermarket, and I don't know, it's strange. It's just obviously adapting to like a new routine and finding like new stores and finding new favourites and knowing like what foods you like and what you don't and what's expensive and what's not. But yeah, aside from the actual people in my life and my cats, there's not really a lot else that I miss about the UK. So next question is, was I nervous about the move to Australia? The only thing that made me feel nervous is obviously back in February you had to like do all your paperwork and everything before your flight, and you know what I'm talking about without me having to say it, and you know, get flagged up. But that was the most nerve-wracking thing, thinking that we'd got to the airport and that we were obviously due to fly the next day. The most nerve-wracking thing was waiting that 15 minutes for that text to come through with those certificates. The rest of it was totally fine. The whole journey was fine, the flight was fine, much better than I expected, considering neither of us had flown for like 2 years, let alone a super long haul flight. And yeah, I just knew that we'd be fine here because it's our favourite place to visit. We absolutely love Australia. We knew that we'd got like our apartment sorted. I knew what I was doing for my course, so I was just really excited, to be honest, to just get stuck in and just get soared into a new way of living. So next question is anything cheaper or more expensive than I expected? So I'm trying to think off the top of my head. It's difficult because it's kind of like some stuff's more expensive and some stuff's cheaper, but it kind of balances out. Like, I just thought that all food was going to be a lot more expensive and that we were going to be really noticing a difference in our food shop, but to be honest, we haven't really noticed a lot of difference. I think we're quite like savvy spenders anyway. Like, we'll always get what's on deal, or we'll buy something that will cover us for like a couple of meals, and I like meal plan and we sort all of that out. So one thing that definitely has surprised me that's quite expensive is like cereal and cereal bars. There's no real like own brand or like cheaper cereals. It's like brands or really nothing else, and the actual cereal brands themselves are pretty expensive. So like a box of Cocoa Pops could be like a few pounds, or you could buy Cherryz and they're like double the price of what they would have been back in the UK. And same for cereal bars. Like a box of 6 cereal bars could be like $6, which is like £3.50, which is expensive. A lot of fresh produce is expensive, but then again, if you go to Aldi or you get what's on offer, you can pretty much make it work. Meat is quite expensive actually, I will say, like mince. We haven't really had an awful lot of anything like that. We've just been trying new things and just making sure that we obviously don't spend a ridiculous amount on food shopping. So next question is, how is Tim getting on? So as I'm filming this, Tim's actually at work. He got a job like pretty soon after we moved here, I think within like 2 or 3 weeks or so. So he works pretty much full time, usually does like 4 days a week, and he's enjoying that. And it's really nice because he never works weekends, so we always have that time together. And most of the time I'm either like at uni in the day anyway, or like I'm doing uni work, so it's not like I'm just sat around doing nothing, you know, just waiting for him to come home. I know that he's really enjoying being here. He's visited a few other places that I haven't, obviously because he's got a bit more free time than I sometimes do with my classes and assignments and everything. And I know that he's been really enjoying like swimming and going for nice walks and just everything that there is to do here. I think he's definitely enjoyed as well trying like new foods and finding out like what wine's his favourite, and yeah, just having a great time here with me as well. So next question is, do I have a job, or how is job hunting going? So yes, I do have a job. I actually work at a local supermarket. I do between like 1 and 3 evenings a week on night fill, which I really don't mind. It's literally like a 15-minute walk from our apartment anyway, so it's really not far, and to walk there and back is all through uni anyway, so I don't feel like scared walking back on my own at 11 o'clock at night. And I have to say, actually, I have got a lift back the last couple of times with a lovely lady that I work with, and yeah, it all happened quite quickly. Like, I applied for the job, had an email saying, yeah, we'd like you to do like an online interview, which was weird because you didn't do it with anyone. It just popped up with questions on the screen and then you had to record yourself answering them. And then honestly, like 2 hours later, they phoned me asking me if I wanted the job. So I obviously said yes. And what is actually mad is that I get paid nearly £20 an hour to stack shelves, which is just crazy. Like, that's just such a crazy amount of money for something that I don't know, it doesn't require like a skill or like qualifications or anything. And I worked Easter Monday, and apparently you get paid even more for working Easter. And my response was like, how could I get paid any more? So it's nice to say I only work between 1 and 3 evenings a week. It's really great. I'm just a casual employee, so I just say when I'm free. They rota you in for a couple of shifts, and yeah, it's pretty laid back, pretty easy going. So yeah, I found a job as well pretty quickly. I wasn't actually planning on like working, like neither of us actually need to work. It's just obviously nice to like have a bit of money coming in, and like another way to like meet people, and it's just something like else to do as well. So yeah, I've really enjoyed that, worked with some really nice people, and tell you what has definitely helped me to like remember where things are around the supermarket, because it is our local one. And yeah, I will say that stacking the shelves definitely has helped me to like navigate the store in general. So next up is, what am I enjoying most about uni? And to be honest, I think it's like a lot of it is the routine that I'm really enjoying, but I'm also really just enjoying my classes in general. I really love learning, and I love finding out new things. I will be, I don't know, like reading something or listening to a video, and like an interesting fact will pop up, and if Tim's here, I'll turn around and I'll tell him the fact. Or I don't know, I just really enjoy like learning, which I think is probably my favourite thing. Okay, so next question is, where in Australia do I want to go to most next? So to be honest, we were supposed to go to Australia in March 2020. We'd like had the whole trip booked, like flights, hotels, internal flights and everything, and we were supposed to be going, or one of the places we were supposed to be going to was Magnetic Island, which is like a small island just off the coast of Townsville, so it's like north of here, and that's probably like where I want to go to most next. We were supposed to stay in a little bungalow in a koala sanctuary, and there's like wild koalas everywhere, and like wallabies, probably tons of like snakes and spiders. I think there's like sharks and jellyfish. Basically everything that can kill you in Australia is on this island, but that's where I really want to go to next, because we were supposed to go there so long ago, and I was obviously so disappointed that we couldn't go, because everyone knows what happened in March 2020. So yeah, that hopefully will be on the cards, yeah, hopefully soon. Probably will wait till like spring, summer now, because obviously we're in autumn, and I don't want to go to an island if it's potentially gonna, I don't know, cyclone or rain a lot. But yeah, hopefully that'll be the next place I get to go to. Okay, so there's just a couple of questions left now, which I probably can like put into the same question, and it is, do I have classes every day, and what is my favorite class? So I have a class on Monday, just one. I have no classes on Tuesday. Wednesday I have one class. Thursday alternates. Sometimes I have class in the morning. I always have one in the afternoon, and then same for Friday. Like every other week I have a Friday morning lab, and then I have a class in the afternoon. And yeah, that's for my cell biology module. So basically the first week I'll have a Thursday morning class, and then the next week I'll have the Friday morning lab, and then it will just alternate throughout the semester for that. In terms of favourite class, my favourite class probably for like content is probably my geoethics class. I just find it so interesting. It's probably like the psychology student in me. Just yeah, I find it really interesting about like human interactions with like non-human animals, and at the moment we're doing about like animals in therapy and stuff like that, and I just find it really interesting. Lots of different perspectives, lots of different good discussions go on in class. It's very interactive. It's really great to like get involved and kind of hear other people's opinions. But in terms of my favorite class for like people, it's probably my Earth surface processes class. There's like a little group of us. I really look forward to class every week and like working together, and we work together on like the experiments and stuff. So yeah, in terms of content it's geoethics, in terms of people it's definitely the Earth's surface processes. So that was all of the questions I had about moving to Australia and university here and just kind of general life here. So I really hope that you enjoyed finding out a bit more about the move and everything that I'm up to here. As I said, if you've got any other questions, just leave me a comment or pop over to my Instagram and you can DM me on there if you've got any questions, and of course I'll answer you. So my Instagram is in the description. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed me probably waffling on for way too long. If you did enjoy the video, please do give it a big thumbs up. leave me a comment, and if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you again in my next video.